Welcome to StartupHakk. My name is Spencer Thomason. I am the CEO and co-founder of CleanRouter, as well as many other products. Here are some lessons that I've learned building a successful business while challenging startup norms. My challenge is to push you to rethink startup success. Welcome to StartupHakk. Welcome to StartupHakk. Today we're going to learn about 5 lessons that were taught by a founder who took his company from zero to $1 billion valuation. This is a founder who started off with absolutely nothing more than an idea and his own funding, and started and bootstrapped the company all the way up until it had $1 billion valuation, including a $55 million acquisition. So these are 5 lessons that he taught about how he did this. So the first one of these lessons is work hard. Now, this is seems like it would go without saying, but the reality of the matter is that you have to work hard. There's been more years in my startup that I didn't take money from the company than I did. However, the amount of work each year has also kind of varied, but one thing that has definitely gone all the way from idea through current stage is hard work. There's no way to get around it. At the end of the day, you're going to be working hard. And if you're not willing to put in that work and that dedication, it's simply not going to work. Number 2 is be willing to expand your vision. This particular individual started with just an email campaigns, but they eventually expanded out to surveys, SMS messaging, and other things. When we originally started, we thought CleanRouter was going to sell gangbuster. We thought we were going to sell millions of them. Since then, we've actually branched Clean Technologies out into 5 different products and multiple different technologies. We have software that we sell, a Chrome extension, and now we're even starting to get into crypto. And so these are some of the things that you just have to be willing to be able to take your assets and be able to expand on them and expand your vision, because ultimately, 1, markets will change. 2, customer input and feedback is going to end up giving you a lot of ideas that you will want to act on. And 3, one market will play well into another market. For instance, CleanRouter, which is the ultimate parental controls, which allows parents to control the internet for their kids, had a natural branch off with modern technology moving towards kids all carrying smartphones. And that's the reason why we launched CleanPhone. So the third thing that he listed was consider automating or DIY before making a hire. So it took Eric and I almost 2 years and over 1,500 customers before we actually made our first hire, other than the 2 of us. We'd hired some accountants and tax attorneys and and other things along the way, but our first full-time hire actually didn't come until 2 years down the road when we went to hire our first support person. And the reason Eric and I were able to get away with this was because we were both software developers, and so we just automated everything. So I really believe in this one. I believe a lot of CleanRouter's success has really come down to the fact that we have automated the entire system. Even our shipping and order fulfillment right now is done by my 14-year-old son, because it's so automated that it's very simple. So I'm a big believer in this. I don't really personally love the excuse of, well, I don't know how to code, because it's easier than ever to stand up a server, learn how to code. This kind of goes back to number 1. How bad do you really want this? And where hiring is expensive, automation is very inexpensive. So I would definitely say automate absolutely everything you can. Automate every possible job. Number 4, learn how to cut costs. This is an important one. I've talked before about our core values. This goes to me as to do more with less. You can't always have every piece of software, and sometimes this means that you can't have every single thing right. You can't have every job fulfilled. You just have to learn how to do more with less. And in this case, the ability to cut costs is going to allow you to be able to expand your company. Sometimes this even means cutting costs in your personal life so that you can live on less in order to continue to fund your company. So many different points that I made the decision that I should not take funds out of the company, but instead leave those in the company to grow the company. So learning how to cut costs can actually go for your company as well as for your personal life. And so this learning to cut costs also kind of goes back to number 1. How much do you want this? How hard are you willing to work for it? What sacrifices are you willing to take? The last one is focus on relationship building. So in 2015, when I decided that we had sold over 5,000 routers, I knew we had something and I'd been doing it part-time for long enough. I knew that I had to quit my day job and go at this. So I quit a $125,000 a year day job. I was working as a software developer at GoDaddy, and I quit that day job to go full-time at CleanRouter. And at that point, I set a goal to go out to lunch with 100 different people. In at least the Phoenix area, going out to lunch was a great way to network. So I just started setting up the opportunity to go out to lunch with a lot of people. From these lunches came 4 of the people who ended up on our advisory board, and some great friends and networking individuals that I have been able to leverage a lot of advantages for CleanRouter. I could talk for a long time more about the opportunity to network. You really need to make sure that you're networking and spending the time to build those relationships. These relationships also can turn into multiple business opportunities. So it's important that you take the time to build the relationships. Sometimes when you're a young entrepreneur, you're so head down, and this can be some of the most time-consuming part. So we were right at this phase where I was just going to quit my job and go full-time, and I looked up on the internet and found somebody who was willing to do business coaching. And I didn't know anything about starting a startup. We'd had this idea and run this product, and what I know now is that we'd actually started a startup, but I didn't really know anything about scaling the business. So I reached out to this business coach by the name of Christy Kerner, and she was like, how have you guys been operating? And I didn't even know about it. And it turns out that she was one of the most connected people in all of the Phoenix startup ecosystem. And from this one single connection spawned off multiple different opportunities. So I definitely think that building relationships is extremely important. And I could talk more on this one for a long time. So here are the 5 things. Again, work hard, be willing to expand your vision, consider automating or DIY before making a hire, learn to cut costs, and focus on relationship building. So if you do these 5 things, I know it will help you to grow your company, and I think these are great pieces of advice. So don't forget to get your CleanRouter to keep your kids safe online at home, and make sure that your kids are carrying the latest CleanPhone. It's a fantastic tool to help parents to monitor and control how much time their kids are spending on their phone. Thanks, have a good one. Welcome to Startup Hack.